Online learning can literally change lives, it can change career prospects, and it can open whole new sets of doors. And yet completing online courses can be incredibly difficult. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing 4 tips that help me move from never ever having completed an online course, despite trying many times, to completing over 700 hours of learning and achieving my Micromasters in Data Economics and Development Policy. First off, know your why. It's all well and good wanting to develop yourself through doing online learning, but why is it that you're doing that specific course? What is doing this course going to change about your life? Knowing the answer to this question in particular can be so empowering because it allows you to dig deep when you really want to give up on the course. The second thing to do is to have deadlines or landmarks or something to time frame your online study. Now, I'd say there's 2 versions of this. There's one, actually having deadlines within the course, and there's 2, having a deadline when you need to complete the course by. Having deadlines in the course is a great way to make sure that you're keeping up with the material, and it's a great way of holding yourself accountable. After all, even though the idea of something being self-paced is really attractive, self-paced actually means I'll do it when I have time. And inevitably, like most things in life, when you do things when you have time, it gets pushed back and pushed back and pushed back until it's out of the picture. So picking something that has set in stone deadlines and landmarks means that you're forced to make a decision about whether you truly want to pursue or don't pursue. And if you put down money towards this particular online course, then hitting those landmarks and getting your money's worth is that extra bit of motivation. Now, having a course with a fixed timeline for completion is also a really great motivator to completing that course. This is something I found out when I was doing an MIT professional education course. The course content was really interesting, but it was also really dense. Had it not been for the finite time to consume the course content material, I'm not sure I would have completed the course. It came at a time in my life where I had quite a lot of other conflicting deadline-related opportunities, but having that finite end date for when I could access the materials really was that driving force for me completing the certification. The third thing I say is to make sure you have a routine. Establishing a study routine such as I study on Monday evenings and I study on Wednesday evenings is a really great way of ensuring that you keep up the consistency needed to achieve and complete an online course. Just like when you schedule a Zoom meeting or you have an appointment at a certain time, when it's in your calendar and you have to show up to it, you actually create the time for it. So if you're struggling to get yourself to do the work, just say between these hours of the day, on this day of the week, this is when I'm going to do it. And the more and more you get used to doing it at that certain time, the more natural it becomes and the less inertia you need to sit down and do the study. My 4th and final tip is to find a community. Having a learning community makes the whole process a lot more enjoyable. That's someone you can ask questions to, it's someone who you can share your frustrations with, and potentially it's someone who's going to help you understand the course material in an even deeper way. I think the community aspect is particularly important because online learning can feel incredibly solitary, whereas if you have a study group that you meet with once a week, or perhaps even twice a week, they can definitely add some colour to the experience and make it just a little bit more fun than sitting in a room and studying by yourself. In terms of finding a study community, one of the best ways to do so is to go to the forums of any websites that you're using to do your online courses and leave a comment to say if anyone's interested in forming a study group. If people reply, then you can find a way to communicate, whether that's by WhatsApp, whether that's on Discord, or whether that's just by having a Zoom link that people can drop into and out of. When you get together your band of fellow studying peers, it's amazing how that relationship and energy helps you to keep pushing through even when you lack motivation and energy. Now, I hope these 4 tips and actions were useful for you to develop your online studying and to help you achieve your goal. And if you really enjoyed this video, why not check out my video about how to find online courses? There's a myriad out there, but how do you find one and how do you select the right one for you? Thanks for watching and stay blessed.